Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to return back to UFOto game, and I want to discuss about a few things that I have discussed in my initial review. Some of the things might not be self-explanatory or self-evident when you play the game, especially for people who are not tech savvy and are not familiar with different technologies related to augmented reality. So in this video I want to talk about occlusion. Now, you probably, if you paid attention, you notice that the alien spaceship move behind objects in the real world. For example, behind these electric cables, behind buildings, and you can see them in the sky. But other than this, they're always behind other objects. But these, I mean, physical objects. Of course, the buildings, the electric cables, all of them are physical things in the real world. Furthermore, this is an augmented reality game. It doesn't use any depth sensing, so it doesn't create a mesh of the 3D objects around us. It's just using some sort of computer vision algorithm that allows it to detect between objects and the area in the sky. Now, this gives the illusion that the virtual spaceships are moving behind real-world objects, but this is, of course, not true. So in fact, everything that is augmented using current technology for mobile AR, there are technologies that allow true occlusion, but again, I'm talking about right now on this specific app, is on top of the camera feed. This means that the virtual content will always appear on top of what the camera is streaming in this case, the real world that you see through the camera. What this algorithm does, I don't know which specific algorithm they used, but it actually masks out all these objects, and it knows how to differentiate between sky area and other objects. Now, it doesn't work perfectly all the time, and I showed you in my previous video in the initial review that sometimes the ship appears like it's coming out of the building, and you can see here, you see, I just captured the image. As you can see here, it didn't mask the spaceship correctly behind this building, so it appears on top of it. Not as it should, but there are some occurrences where it kind of glitches the algorithm. That here again you can see it's supposed to move behind the building, but it appears in front of it. Now if you look closer, you can see that the windows actually are visible through the ship. It doesn't supposed to be like that. If the ship was supposed to be in front of the building, you wouldn't see the windows, right? But overall, it works amazingly well and delivers a unique experience that many users who first try augmented reality and those who already have experience with augmented reality haven't experienced just yet. Now, I assume that the developer used an algorithm that is similar to an app that already tried called Blue Sky Paint. Let's just bring this app up. I want to show you something. So this is a Blue Sky Paint. As you can see, in this app you can actually draw on the sky, and it's occluded everything else that's supposed to be on top of real-world physical objects, like in this building, for example. So I just draw on the sky area. Now in UFOto, the other app, you have those alien ships that actually move around the sky, but again, the idea is about the same. So there is no meshing of the area down here. This means that by meshing, I mean like the Magic Leak 1, it has depth sensors which actually map the objects that it sees in front of the headset using the depth sensing cameras, and create a 3D replica of the 3D structures of those physical objects. Now this is very, very accurate. Let me pause for a second. So as you can see here, this is very, very accurate, and that's why it's so very convincing. And even there are imperfections, it's hard to see when you're looking at a bit further away. So those extra pixels that aren't masked correctly are hard to spot. So here are other footages, as you can see, very accurate. Again, it's a bit glitchy. You can see that in some areas it's kind of, you can still see the color passing through. Same thing was with UFOto. Alright, let's go back to UFOto now. Now in the future, it's not exist in this app, on these two apps, we're going to use AirCloud alongside with computer vision. This means that with AirCloud, which is a replica, a 3D replica of the real world, we're going to have the ability to really recognize the 3D shapes of objects around us, but we also need some real-time adaptation. And of course, we're going to get there also with not just but with computer vision, but also with meshing technologies of things around us, so we create really compelling augmented reality experiences. So for example, if I wanted to simulate like this alien ship crashes into this building, I actually can do this if I know the 3D structure of that building. And with AirCloud, I'll be able to do this. With any technology that can actually map those physical structures, I can actually create something like that, and maybe create an explosion over there, or make it even break, like using some sort of computer vision algorithm that just breaks the roof, and you can see the alien ships just smash inside it. For example, if I want the alien ship to just fall on the roof and tumble down, and touch every corner, and then fall on the ground. For this, I need to know the structure of that building. And with the meshing technologies, I'll be able to create such an effect. Now, staying with the current technologies that we have in this app, as you can see, there's a better sense of authenticity to the scene, right? Better sense of presence of those objects. They appear kind of mixed into our world. Is because we have occlusion. This is the part where the virtual doesn't appear no longer as a layer on top of the physical video stream that we see in front of us. It actually feels like an integrated part of the real world environment, a real world physical environment. As you can see, there are no shadows. But if we have a 3D replica of this entire physical area, we can actually produce really convincing shadow effects that will make those spaceships appear like they are flying above us, or if they are close to the floor, or you can actually see if they're for example, a big ship flying from front above you, can actually see a big shadow just passing through you. It's going to be amazing. Now, these are things that you might not pay attention to, but when you combine many of those things together, it's like a movie. You can just add a layer and a layer of something that adds more realism to the scene, and then you realize the big difference once you see it side by side. But again, even without side by side, you're gonna have a more immersive experience once those features using different types of technologies will be enabled in the future. Now, as I mentioned in the review, this reminded me of kind of a hide-and-seek game. And of course, hide-and-seek game are something, the idea of that you can actually place something behind something, another real physical object, is something that will yield different types of gameplay interaction that you haven't, the developer weren't able to do so previously without those technologies. So for example, if it was the Magic Leap On and Magic Leap 1 game, you can maybe create a character that hides behind different objects, and you need to search for it, and it just moves from time to time, it moves to another areas, and create some really compelling AR experiences that people will enjoy playing. But the same is here. That's why I enjoy this app, because it's actually a similar idea, but realized in a very interesting and immersive way. I mean, seeing alien ships just flying above you in the real world is something exciting. I don't know about you, but it excited me.
Where are you hiding? Oh, you are one there. Epsilon, wow, Epsilon. This is a new one. When they come close, they vanished.
Now, basically, this game shouldn't be playable, in indoors, in an indoor area like in your room. Because come on, there's a spaceship that's supposed to fly in the sky, but the developer, of course, knew that people will want to play the game, when they're at home or in indoor area where there's not a good, lighting condition that can give the algorithm the ability to distinguish what is sky and what are other objects in the real physical world. Because if it's very dark, it's very hard to distinguish what is a tree and what is sky. Anyway, so the developer decided to create an hypervision, which actually kind of a simulate the ability to view those spaces behind the other physical objects.
Oh, it was so fast. 3.
Let's pause for a second and look at this image. Look at this. Look at how it's occluded. Look how accurate it is. It's so believable, right? So believable.
My best one. Oh my god, this is wow, this is insane. Wow, what an insane capture. Keep. Yes, we finished this.
Now keep in mind that even with the current mixed reality headsets like the Magic Leap 1, for example, it can't mesh objects that are very far away from the headset. This will improve over time, but this means if this game was, for example, to be played on the Magic Leap 1 and we're outside in this area, it wouldn't be able to mesh the tree and those the house on the left, only objects that are relatively close to the headset itself. But of course, in time, the capabilities of the hardware will improve and we'll be able to mesh objects that are far away from where we are standing or where the headset is located. It doesn't mean that we can do it right now. For example, with 6DI cloud technology, we can actually start meshing things that are relatively close to you, and you of course can go and move and create a mesh of the area around you, but you need to be relatively close, and this process of course takes time because you need to move and scan. And of course, if you want to scan something that is higher from you, of course it's going to be an issue, but we are getting there. And even with the ability to scan, objects that are further away from the camera, from the headset, some, of course, cloud providers will rely on users to supply the data to create this replica of this real world, the 3D replica of the physical world. So users will move around the environment using different types of apps, and you will feed the AR cloud by scanning the areas around them. But of course, to make it to encourage users to do this, you need to present different types of apps that they will use, and then the data from those, from the experience itself the experience will scan the environment, to use in the app itself, but it will also send the data to the AR cloud service. And of course, we need to consider that things in the real world change, right? This world is dynamic. One for a second, a certain object is there, the second later is not. So it needs to be continuously updated over time.
Let's go. Radar. Oh, see this one? Oh, this is too small. Actually good, because of the bonus, I think. Get bonus for this color. No. Oh, this is also a good capture. No, actually not. Delete. Because it's green, it's cheap.
So as you can see, even a relatively simple, not something complicated technology allows to create such immersive and fun AR experience, right? So just imagine how it would be with better technologies. Now, as I mentioned, the technologies are already here. Some of them are in beta testing, and of course we need the hardware, the right hardware to do so if we want to make it comfortable for users to use them in applications and in games in a way that doesn't obstruct the experience itself. That's why we are going to have a mixed. That's what we have. That's why we have mixed reality glasses, because the user needs to just wear the headset, and the headset itself, with the technology embedded in it, it's going to scan the environment while the user is walking around in the environment, even without actually playing a game or using any specific experience. It will continuously work in the background in order to monitor the environment, scan the environment, mesh it, and then it can be used in different types of apps. Now, if you check things online, you can see that the meshing actually is a process that takes time. I mean, 3D construction, the 3D construction of the real physical world is something that takes time. It's not instantaneous. But what you see here is actually in real time, very instantaneous, and this is the feeling that something that we want to have also with mixed reality glasses and the meshing capabilities of both AR cloud technologies and other depth sensing cameras, that they will be able to scan the environment really fast hopefully, in time, also in real time, that we'll be able to deliver such amazing experiences like the one we see here. Now, AR cloud, of course, can help us with this because all the the scanning, the meshing of the area that people are doing persist in the cloud and can be used locally by different types of hardware in order to get this type of real-time experiences. Maybe it's better to say, give solutions for developers who require the ability to have, this type of real-time occlusion in their apps.
And just two. It's not enough. I need 71,000. Oh, whoa. Why are you trying to model? I don't understand. This is funny, this one. He's just standing there. Probably trying to say hello. They're trying to communicate, that's why. I'm telling you, they try to communicate. Not the ducks, the aliens.
Now, I don't own the Magic Leap 1. I wish I had. And some of the AR cloud technology that I did try are not compatible with my device. And I wanted to try to see how occlusion can enhance the gameplay experience, and that's why I was happy to actually get my hands on this game and try it out, and I spent so much time on it because of this. And this game inspired me so much. I have so many ideas running through my head. I'm just typing most of the time, even while reviewing this, making this video. I'm actually typing in Google Keep many ideas because it inspired me so much after trying this app. I mean, I was blown away with the ideas, that all the possibilities, even with just this algorithm that they're using here.
This is a blue one. Oh, no, we missed it. Oh, what? No, oh, it's bad. Okay, delete. Yes. Red one. Check it out. No, bad. Delete. Blue one. No, delete. I need the purple one.
So basically I became a photographer of aliens in this mixed reality experience, and honestly those images look really cool, I mean, kind of surreal, and that's why I enjoyed watching them again and again. Because when you freeze the frame, you get kind of a really exciting image that is, looks kind of weird, right? You see aliens in the sky, and because it's authentic, it looks so believable. It's very impressive.
Supposed to be a red over here. No, you're green. It's a nice picture, but it don't work a lot.
Again, all this thanks to Occlusion. Just take a look at the image that I'm about to capture now. This was really cool. Look at this. Unbelievable. This was actually one of my highest scores. And again, the picture, it's unbelievable. It wouldn't be possible without having occlusion. Look at this. It looks amazing. It wouldn't be the same, of course, if the virtual content would just appear on top of this tree, like in standard, without this really cool computer vision algorithm that enabled this occlusion effect. So this was kind of a quick talk about the occlusion in UFOto and a bit behind it. I hope you enjoyed this. If you enjoyed, please don't forget to like and subscribe. More cool content is coming soon. So see you in the next video. Cheers. Bye bye.